It's going to be one of those days. This is Lisa Smith. I'm Kindred Stitcher. Thank you for coming to join my channel. Today is June 10th or 11th. This is Flosstube 69, and I have restarted this a couple times. But it's okay because it's just YouTube, right? And we're all friends. So since I last chatted with you, which has been a few weeks now, I went to a girlfriend's weekend in Iowa with my friend Lori, textilist, and we went to Michelle Rudy's house for a couple days beforehand, and then we went to Iowa to the Stitchery Nook, and they have a retreat center upstairs, so you can rent it out. And we had, I think we had 14 people, and it was a really nice location. It can sleep 15 or maybe 16, I don't remember, people. There are people you might know, people you probably don't know, and they're all my friends, and I was glad to spend some time with them. So let's see. I want to share some projects that I've worked on since we last met. One is, this is a kit. It is, I didn't take this out of the bag, so better do that. This is Floral Heart Kit by Samplers Not Forgotten. And the last time I showed this, I think I had the outline done and a little bit of the leaves done. I worked on this on the plane when I went to the Midwest cross-stitch retreat, and I realized there are 5 shades of green in this. And so it was not a great plain stitch, but it was fine if I was sitting down at home. So I worked on it and I finished it. So this is the kit. I did add my initials here instead of this shows a flower, a ribbon and a charm, which comes with the kit. I might try and use that somewhere in the finishing. Probably not though. I probably just keep it simple, which is what I really prefer. But isn't that so pretty? Her kits, her little kits that she comes out with annually, I love them. I love them. One of the things that's challenging is that she just describes the threads as light peach or medium rose. And it's probably an overdyed, I'm not sure. You can usually figure it out. It took some research to kind of figure out which ones were which on this one. But her kits are beautiful. So I will probably finish that into a pillow. Pretty sure I have, my finished pile is growing. I need to get some finishing done. All right, so what else do we have here? Got threads coming off my projects. I pulled out some Patriotic whips, and my plan was up through May to work on a certain set of projects, and then in June and July to work on another set of projects. And that was, those were mostly Patriotic pieces and items that I started in Stitch Mania last year. Oh, let me tell you, there's a lot. I have a lot of whips that don't have a lot done on them. I don't know. I just didn't work on them. So let me go ahead and move some things around because I got a lot of stuff to show you. I worked on this one. This one I started last year, Stitch Mania. This is Blackbird Designs, Justice for All. And this, I'm stitching it with the Call for 2 DMCs, which are 221 and 939. I bought this from, I think, the Inspired Needle. It might not be in print anymore, but you might see this one at different stores, and I think it comes up like on eBay from time to time. I'm stitching it on Pecan Butter by Lakeside, and I was working on it last night a little bit. I worked on it for the Blackbird Design Sal that Laura and the Serial Starter, Brenda and the Serial Starter, they started a hashtag. I forgot to post this though, so I'm gonna have to post it. But I think when I left it last time, I had this done and this done, and like 1 star in just the beginning. So I finished this. It won't take a lot to finish the edge here. And last night I was working on it, and I just decided I'm not going to stitch the letters and the numbers. You know, we all know how to count and say our ABCs. So sometimes it's okay not to do that. And I may not stitch my initials here. I may just pull this motif down and stitch it right here instead. And this will be still a great patriotic piece. Plus then I'd have a little bit of the linen left over that I could use on another project, and it would be great to add to my display. So that's where I am with Justice for All. This is going to be my focus piece. I'm going to go ahead and try and stitch this and finish it maybe this weekend. So that was, I worked on that one. I didn't work on any other Blackbirds on the Blackbird weekend, but it was fun to have that to be able to work on. And I worked on this one. So I don't have all my stuff in order here, but that's okay. Okay, this is a kit from Dying to Stitch, one of their club kits. This is by Heartstring Samplery, and it's called Where Liberty Dwells, and it's a Huswife. So this, I had stitched the shield already. Oh, I guess I better, no, that's the right direction. I already had stitched the shield, so I have started stitching the flowers to the side, and I stitched the lettering on the bottom. I'm just stitching this in hand because it's easy to do that. All the smaller ones I really do stitch in hand. And I use the sewing method most of the time. Every once in a while I do some poke and stab, but I really like having options. I like being able to stitch in hand when I want to. I oftentimes stitch with an 11 by 17 Q-snap if my project fits in there, and I put it on a lap stand. It's super comfortable for me. I do have a roller frame that I have a Haid on, and I've had it on for a long time. I really should work on that. I love working on that Haid, but I just don't have enough time. So that one won't take much too long to do either. It's really just stitching here, some letters at the top. And I think there's a little bit of stitching on the ends. And then that one can go in the to be finished pile. And next, what else do we have? Oh, okay. So I have worked on Where Liberty Dwells. Ooh, itchy nose. Where Liberty Dwells by Plumstreet. This was a Stitch Mania start last year. And I did stitch on this one a little bit at Michelle's house. I think I had one window done before. Now I've got the top story of my house. But I stopped because I think I didn't have the right red with me. So I also have a piece of fabric to do this. And so I'm just going to keep plugging away at these because I think they will not take a long time to finish. And I do need to sort of work down my whips, even though I keep starting things. Next, oh, I'm going to show you this one. Okay. So I worked on, I got a big pile here. I worked on this one. So this is a Patriot sampler, and this one I borrowed, I have from the stitcher. I'm borrowing it. I've had it for quite a while. So I need to get this done. And this I absolutely love stitching on. The attic might have this one or might be able to get it. I think she's in Tucson, Arizona. She's retired, but I think they might have an in. So you can always call and ask. I don't really know if they can get this or not. But I want you to look at some things. See, look at the colorway on this. And this is by Midsummer Night Designs. The colorway looks like it's blue, right? Blue, black, and some gold colors. Well, this is the true colorway when you stitch it. So it looks nothing like the pattern. Sorry, it's blowing out a little bit there. But it has a lot of red, some navy blue, a little bit of black. It has a lot of fun, whimsical color combinations. And I love the flowers that sort of look like sparklers. So when I worked on this, I was obsessed with this. And I would say that I have like this little section, maybe about a quarter of it done. And it doesn't take very long, really. This isn't that big of a sampler. There's about this much more on this side, and then you go up a little bit. So it's not going to be a big sampler. This is 40 count sand, and I want to say it might be, picture this plus. It's not lakeside, but it's got kind of fun modeling on it. I really like that one. I really enjoy stitching on it as well. Now, I told you I have a lot that I worked on since I last talked with you. The next one to show you is, where is it? Oh, Summer at Hollyberry Farm by Stacy Nash. Now, I worked on Halloween at Hollyberry Farm, and I got that framed by Patty Nicolosi, and she does an amazing job with framing. She is on the Blackbird Designs, Fans of Blackbird Designs webpage, Facebook group, and you can reach out to her through Messenger. She does framing, must be from her home, but she has access to a lot of frames, and she really, really does an impeccable job. So this is where I am. When I started working on this, I had about this much of the border done, and that was it. And I just started stitching and going to town on this. And I love stitching on it. So I'm going to get back to it and keep working on it. That house is no joke, though. The houses on these particular patterns are big, and they have a lot of white stitching. But this is 40 count espresso by R&R, and it doesn't smell as much as what did at the beginning, but it was such a fragrant piece of material that when I would pull it out of the bag, you could smell the coffee. And it was awesome. So that one is Summer at Hollyberry Farm. And then when I was at the retreat, was I at the retreat when I started this? Yes, I was. I've been wanting to start this. I didn't realize this wasn't a new pattern. This is Rachel Holmes by Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery. And look at the colors in that and the fun bands and motifs. I guess this has been around a while. Some folks, when I posted on Instagram, are like, "Ooh, I started this. This is a whip of mine. This is in my stash pile." And I really enjoyed working on it. So I got a little bit of a start, not a lot, but again, you could just really cruise on these bands. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love this. And I want to say, I don't know what fabric this is. It might be Parchment by Weeks. It kind of looks like I have a couple pieces of parchment. I think it's 40. I usually stitch on 40-ish, somewhere in there. It's not going to be huge. I am about, I want to say that's half to a third of the way across the bottom. I don't know why. I don't know how I oriented on this fabric. I'm probably going to have some left over. I'm sure it was some of the considerations I have when I'm looking at my fabric is, will it fit in 11 by 17 Q-snap so I can work on my lap stand? And so sometimes there's a little bit of waste with that because it does help to have a 3-inch border, 2.5 to 3-inch border, so that when you clamp the bottom, I usually start on the lower left. When I clamp the bottom on, I can still get in and stitch the beginning stitches. Otherwise, I start it in hand, which is fine. But I just find it easier if I have enough space to account for that. Then, oh, guys, I worked on Anndale, the Never-Ending Project. I've decided this is my pandemic project. I worked on her last year, this year. Did I work on her last year? I think so. I worked on Sarah Chapel last year. I think I was going back and forth for a while between the two. This is by Shakespeare's Peddler, and it's just a stunning piece. Jackie Stitches from Instagram just finished hers, which was a big accomplishment. Congratulations. And so here is, I worked in the bottom half. I'm just going to show you, I'm going to scoot back and show you the whole thing. It's really, really, it's big. She's big and beautiful. It's a good thing I have long arms, right? Okay, now I'm just going to scooch up here and show you, I've been working on the bottom band. Oh, please. Working on the bottom band. I finished the whole right side on the bottom quadrant. I finished the tree. I'm working on the left side, and I'll finish the cartouche in the upper left bottom band and some lettering above the tree, as well as a couple motifs on the left side, and then that bottom band will be done. And that bottom band, I completely underestimated how long that was going to take to get done. So then I'll be on to my last band. Oops, hold on, Ann. I'll be on to my last band. And then she'll be done. I can't believe it. My biggest, sorry, I just jiggled you guys. This is the biggest whip I have in terms of area. So if you just measure the length and the width and multiply it, the general area, it's the largest piece. Now my Hade is smaller, but it has more stitch density. And my new start from the last video that I showed you from the Midwest retreat also has a lot of stitch density. So it depends on how you define your whips, but it'll be excited to have that done. And then my last start, like I said, I had a lot going on this time, is Always Remember. And I picked this up at the Midwest retreat. It is a new release by Paulette. It is stitched on 36 count, I think, Eucalyptus by Rabbit and Fox and Rabbit Designs. And let's see, once we got this, I went to the attic and asked them if they had it, because we were all trying to buy it. And they had it, but they only had 46 count. So I ordered it because why not, right? And I started it, and this is as far as I am. So this will probably be like 5x6 when I'm done. And isn't that eagle the cutest? The colors in this are just incredible. Incredible. The color saturation is just, it's beautiful. This is sort of a tealy greenish blue color, the eucalyptus is. And I have a fat quarter, so I have quite a bit left. And I have another new start in mind, and it will fit on this. So my lesson after Sarah Chapel, after I measured, remeasured, and cut the fabric and then was too short, is that I'm going to finish this one, then cut my fabric, then measure, and make sure that I have enough fabric, which I will for my next project. Those are the projects that I worked on. Made some progress, right? So I will probably get back to my blonde and brunette rotation. But before I do that, I will try to finish the Anndale is on my list to finish. The Blackbird Designs is on my list to finish. Continuing with my Patriotic stitches this month, although I will continue interjecting Anndale in there. And what else? Oh, I've got so much to work on. So much. So that didn't stop me from buying more stuff though. And let me just share some haul that I have and some gifts. So at the stitching weekend, I had a couple gifts. These are from Teresa Vanette at Kitten Stitcher. She gifted these to us, and you can use them for anything. You can punch little holes like I did on my the Sampler's Not Forgotten Heart Kit, and that's what I used one of these that came on her fabric and made it a thread keep. There's Anndale. You could make a little card and give these to people. You could put these in a journal. There's so many things you could do with that. So that was a gift. Cowgirl Kate from Cowgirl Kate Paints Aplenty. So this girl is talented, crazy talented. Well, if you go to Instagram, it's Cowgirl with a K. Kate, she paints and she makes things. So she made this gnome ornament. Is this not the cutest darn thing you've ever seen? This little gnome ornament, and he's got a mushroom. She made the mushroom. She sheared her sheep. Is that a tongue twister? She sheared her sheep. She used the sheep wool, fur, hair, whatever you call it, to make the beard of the gnome. I mean, come on. I stinking love this. Love it, love it, love it. And I just really appreciate getting to know Kate. And what a great friendship it's going to be. My friend Donna, she made project bags and gifted us all a project bag and some bee waxers. I don't know where the waxers are. They're probably in the house somewhere. And then Susie, gave us little zipper pulls. You can use it whatever you want. Zipper pulls, keychain fobs, I don't know, scissor fobs. So I love the talent and the the generosity from our friends in the stitching community. What did I buy at the Stitchery Nook? So the Stitchery Nook is, it has a scrapbooking section. It has a big cross-stitch section, including fabric, kits. It's a pretty good size shop. And it was so much fun to be able to just go downstairs and shop and, oh, I need some threads, and go down and pick up some threads. Well, I had seen this from Beth's West at Heartstring. And when I saw this, I about died, because look at these flowers. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I really want to start this, but I'm going to try and behave. I need to finish a few things one of these days. I also picked up the other one that kind of goes with this, Liberty Pendulum. Yep. Look at the top of that. And then I got, oh, this one was on my list after Expo. I love this. And now this, I guess, has a lot of, this has greens in it. Greens and golds. I might just do black. I haven't decided. They had a good selection of seraphim fabrics, and I don't have any seraphim. This is antique lace. Get a fat half of this. That's pretty good representation. It really does look like antique lace, and it is the perfect sampler fabric. It's gorgeous. Reasonably priced. I left a lot of fabric there for y'all, so they had quite a bit, and I just tried to show some restraint. I tried. And that was from the Stitchery Nook. We went to Buttermilk Basin and met Stacy West there. So Stacy, she's a hoot. I met her another time. So Karen, Michelle, Lori, and I met Susie all met at Buttermilk Basin and shopped, and their new store is amazing. It's amazing. So she has some panel fabrics that I picked up. I picked up a Patriotic one, and these are going to be cut up and used in project bags that I probably will work on this weekend. And so the front of the project bag will be the panel with a little bit of a border around it. So if I'll cut this out, right? And then I picked up a couple of fabrics to go be the rest of the front and then the back. Gotta have a way to pay for my trip. To write off my trip anyway. Okay, so she had this stitched on the wall as a model with wool. I think she might, I'm not sure if she's gonna, this is going to be a kit. So this is, I'll try and, I won't be able to show you everything because it's big. And you can't really, it would be hard to cut these apart and make them into a quilt because there's 20, there's 24. And also, they're not all the same size, right? Because not all letters are the same size. But what you could do, and what Lori was talking about, is maybe overlaying wool on here and appliquing it on and making it a quilt this way. Okay, so then the rest of it's on the other side. Oh, I'm going to show you this because I want to show you the barn. This is not so cute. Look at that barn. Is that barn not adorable? And does this make you feel like you want fall to be here already? For all you in the Midwest and other areas of the country who are sweltering in the heat right now, I'm sure you're probably already wishing for some relief. And I picked up, this she said is going to be a quilt kit or a block of the month. But this is sort of a Baltimore album. Oh, these are so gorgeous. There's a whole bunch of them. And I picked up this fabric, might be a coordinating fabric. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this yet, because if this is going to be a block of the month, I probably will join that block of the month. I'm not sure. It would be a really big project bag. I don't know. Do you think that would be too big of a project bag? Does anybody use really big ones? I don't know. I haven't decided. So there's that. Sorry. I also got, and I would like to say that Lisa Prims on Greenway and Bonnie Log Cabin Stitcher are hosting woolly alongs where you stitch wool projects. And I want to say Anna from Quilt Readies is also participating in this. I saw this quilt, this little kit. This is Sweet and Simple Pomegranate. They're about this big. They hang vertically, but they're quilt kits. And I'm to the point in my life where kits are the thing. They're just easy. They're together. It's not necessarily cheaper to buy stuff separately because sometimes you have to buy a big piece of something and you don't need it all and you have all this scrap. But this is the one that I really liked. I think Lori bought a couple. She has a couple more in order. But this is beautiful. I saw that done and hanging in the shop. So Buttermilk Basin, they have a lot of models hanging up, and so it's easy to kind of visualize what you would do, what you might do to personalize it, but also they just make it easy. They make it easy for you to want to buy all the things. So I got that. I picked up a couple of pieces of wool. Velvet for backing material for projects. Are those colors not just so gorgeous? And then Stacy gifted us a little wool bundle. Last, this barely fit in my luggage. I've been looking for this for a while because I have a wool piece that will sit in the inside bottom of this tray, but it's huge. And I don't know if you can mount this on the wall. Probably you could, or you can put it in the middle of your table. But there's this tray. And I have a piece I bought, a stitched kit wool applique from Country Carriage Quilts up by the airport in Washington. And it fits in here. And so I wanted to get this. And that way I didn't have to pay for shipping. So Lori got one too. And there was some creative packing to make sure that it would fit in there. Let's see. What else? What else? Oh, that Michelle Rudy. She had this on her counter, on her coffee table. And so I went to Amazon and picked it up. French Country Cottage. It's just full of eye candy. So sometimes, you know what I like to do? If everyone's gone, so now that we're empty nesters, it's just my husband and I, and if he's gone and it's raining right now, it's in the 50s, I like to just lay in bed and drink coffee and read these types, take a look at these types of books. And it makes me dream about my next house, the house that we're going to build and what I'm going to do to decorate it and gardening ideas and all the things. So I picked up a little Blackbird charm set. This was, I think, $10 on eBay. And some fabric I had been looking at on eBay. That's a Blackbird. I have the reverse of this where the background is light and the leaves are dark. So, and I have some other kind of coordinating fabric that would go to make a quilt. Couple of Blackbird quilt books I picked up. This one I found for a reasonable price online somewhere. And I thought this was beautiful. And then embroidered pieces as well. Country Sampler, got a hold of some of this particular design. Sometimes Barb and Alma find boxes in their warehouse that have patterns in there. So I got that. I think that might have come out in a magazine, but I'm not sure. And then this one I found on Amazon. It was not a terrible price. So the Blackbird books are hard to come by, and just keep looking, right? And keep a search on eBay or just keep looking because they do come up from time to time. So there's that. This is one of my favorite applique artists. This is Piece of Cake Designs. I have several of their books, and I'm excited to do some applique. Lori Textilist and Olivia B are going to do some Blackbird quilt along things. They posted it in the Blackbird, Fans of Blackbird page. But Lori is going to hopefully cover some applique techniques with us in case you want to learn, like me. And then this, oh, I did get this from, I think I got this from Stitchery Nook. Look at that. I don't buy all of these. I'm tempted to. It's a great subscription, but I'm to the point where I only buy books where I know I'm going to stitch at least 2 projects in there. And I thumbed through this, and there are several in this particular, not episode, but issue that I really, really like. And so I could see myself doing. I need to get back into punch needle. Look at this. This is Michelle Palmer, whom I absolutely adore. Sub Rosa. Lots of good stuff in there. And then I picked up some fabric for some project bags. Let's see what else. I'm going to be home for a little while, which is nice. I love visiting my friends, and I just feel fortunate to be able to go. I do have a family reunion for a long weekend in July, and then Lori and I are going to the attic for Stitch Camp. Stitch Summer School? I don't know. Whatever their August retreat is. Then we're going to Missouri for the Quilter Station retreat. Well, a lot of people are going. Every time I watch a video, I find out who's going to that particular retreat. So other than that, it'll be a lot of yard work and stitching and sewing and all the good things. I hope that you're having a great summer so far, and you stay cool, or if you want hot weather, that you get hot weather. And I will hope to see you in a couple weeks. I just really hope you have a blessed day. Take care.